So let's say you generate an image of a gangster cat wearing a hat and dark glasses landscape. So I'm asking the desktop AI to generate an image for us, and let's see what comes up. And look, it's actually thinking. It's like a thinking model. And look what it did there. Wow. Just look at that. Wow. We did that straight. We didn't even open an app. We just asked it straight here. And it just generated the image. How awesome is that? Hey guys, this is Jacques from Clue Linux and welcome to another video. So I'm very excited to unveil this project today. It's called WebOS, and you can get there via the address of webos.live, webos.live. So you just type webos.live and it will take you straight to this page. Now, before we get into this awesome project, there's a lot here. This is like basically a web browser based OS. Yes, it's a full blown OS, completely run with AI. And it's mind-blowingly awesome. But before we get to that, let me explain this first screen that you see here. So let's quickly just go over this before we enter. So it says here, this is early development, expect bugs and report them. Very important. This is early development. If you find bugs, please report them. It says, important, please notice to ensure the best experience, especially with integrated AI tools, please load and install the X-Frame options bypass extension. This is very important because there are some AI tools that don't play well with X-Frame, especially when you try and do like embedding and that type of stuff. And because WebOS is a browser-based OS, there's a lot of embedding happening. And so we need this X-Frame options bypass extension, which is a legal extension. There's nothing illegal about it. It's in the web store. It's in your extension store. It's been approved by whoever runs, Google and those guys. Anyway, so you need this extension to get the most out of it. Because if you don't have it, a lot of AI tools might not play so well. Okay, so it tells you to install it. It says it's compatible. It says WebOS compatible with Chrome and Edge based browsers. Actually, it's compatible with all browsers, but it's more compatible with Edge and Chrome. You're least likely to get any kind of issues with that. We recommend using Chromium, Google Chrome, or Edge for best results. True. It detects your OS, your web browser. It says he has detected Edge, and it says get this extensions. And if you click it, it will just take you to the extension page where you can just get and then add it. If it's Google, if it's web Chrome or Google Chrome, then you'll get an add to Chrome. You click and it adds it. Very simple. So you install the extension. After that, you can enter WebOS. And now we're inside. And just look at that. That looks so awesome. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to make this full screen. Just to do the rest of this nice and easy and smooth. Okay, so what is WebOS? Well, WebOS is a operating system. It comes complete with a desktop, icons on the desktop, a clock, a panel, icons on the panel, a clock on the panel, weather, language selector, um, a main menu with apps, right click options. I mean, it's a full on operating system. It runs a back end system, and it's got a debug system, and it's got a settings manager where you can do so much. It's even got a built in special effects system. So it's a full blown OS, in other words, right? And I'm going to cover a lot of the elements, not all of it. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here for hours. But I'm going to cover a lot of the basics, what we're working on, what's functional. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to do here is I'm going to log in. Right, registration is free. If you first pop in and you go to the login here, you'll see a username and password, and there's register here. If you register here, it's just a username, email, and password, nothing else. We don't gather any other information. So it's really easy to register and it's free. So I'm going to log in quickly. Okay, so now I'm logged in. The reason I logged in is because although the third-party tools aren't locked, a lot of the Electra-only tools are locked, and a lot of the AI functionality is locked until you log in. Right. Okay, so I'm logged in. Now, before I get to the AI, because I know everybody wants to know about the AI, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I just want to show you guys the actual operating system. So like I said, it's a full-blown operating system, right? You've got icons on the desktop. You can click the icons and it opens windows. You can drag the windows around. You can minimize them like you do on a normal operating system. If you click on the taskbar, it minimizes and restores. You can maximize them. You can drag them around. You can open up a second window and a third and a fourth and a fifth, and you can drag them all around, and you can minimize them, and you can right click them and close. And so it acts like just like a normal operating system, pretty much just like a normal operating system, except this is web based. Okay, so you got icons on the desktop. You got the bottom panel over here. You can also auto hide the panel, IntelliHide hide the panel, always show the panel, the taskbar panel. So just like a normal operating system, you got a clock here, a clock with a calendar, and if you click there, you can open the calendar. You can set events, months, weeks, agenda, new event, and it will actually give you a notification and an alarm. You've got a weather widget over here where you can actually open up and it will give you the weather of where you are, and it will give you the fun fact that goes with that weather, and it will also generate an image there. Next to that, you got language selection. Okay, this we're still working on. It's not quite functional, but well, partially functional, not quite. I think French is working quite a bit. Yeah, you'll see some of the icons change to French. There are some other languages that are working. It's work in progress. Eventually, they'll all work. Next to that, you got the little Electra chat, and yeah, you can chat to Electra, hello, and she'll reply back, and you can have conversation back and forth with her about whatever, right? She also supports voice input. Okay, on the other side, you got some icons here. There you got a file manager or file explorer, which then shows all applications. And if you've opened up any documents or stored anything, this is like your virtual cache over there. You can also add cloud connections. So you can add like a FPT, like if you want to save files to an FPT drive or WebDAV over there, you can add that in. It will mount it over there. Okay, so next to that, we've got a content generator. If you click this, you can generate content, articles, blog posts, email marketing, social media, short stories, song lyrics, scripts, presentations, whatever. And you can do it in various languages. There's a whole bunch of languages. So this is really, really cool. Like what you put in, what you want to generate, and it pops up and it generates this content for you. Next to that, we've got the video generator. If you open up that, it actually opens up like a nice little video generator. And here you can basically generate videos using various models. And these are models we host on Hugging Space. Hugging Face. Next to that, you've got an image generator. And once again, this is really nice. Image generator, image editor, resizer, storyboard, frame capture. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff here. And yeah, it uses various models, pollinations, and also Hugging Face, spaces that we rent on Hugging Face. Next to that, we've got the AI coder. This is all Electra. Electra does the AI coding here. So you've got an AI coder here. So you've got some nice tools here right in your bottom panel, easy to access. Next to that, you've got the settings manager. Settings manager is quite extensive. You can, basically set up a lot of appearance here, like your windows, like your window opacity. For example, let's set that down, and then let's open the windows. Do you see that? You can see right through there. And then when you set it up, look at that. Do you see? So usually we set that about 95%, I think, somewhere around there. So that's the standard. So you can set that. You can set your title bar transparency. Look at the top. Now it's completely transparent. See there? Like very transparent. So let's set that to 95%, right? Taskbar, which is at the bottom there. I mean, that's currently 35, but we can set it. You can set that as you wish. Start menu as well. That's currently 90% start menu. So you can see a little bit through it, but you can set that all the way down to 50. Now it's virtually very transparent, or all the way to 100. Now you can't see through it at all. And then Windows corners. You can set your Windows corners. Look at that. Do you see these corners are like square now? And they're very round, so you can really go crazy with setting up some nice just some transparency effects and stuff if that's your type of thing. You can change the theming color over here. There's green, there's red, there's yellow, there's purple, there's pink, there's graphite. And notice all these some of these icons change. They're all yellow, they're all green. See, so it's not just the borders and the highlights that change, and the pop outs. It's also the icon sets. You've got Windows buttons over here. You can set these buttons over here. There's minimal buttons. There's the modern buttons, which are bigger, and then there's the default ones, which are smaller. Some icons, some cursor styles, blah blah blah. Okay, so you've got some nice there. You've got special effects here, drop shadows. Now you're not going to see the drop shadow too much on this window border, but you will see it on the panel there. Look, if I look, watch the panel. Bye bye drop shadow. There's a drop shadow. Bye bye drop shadow. You see it? It's subtle, but it's there. Wobbly windows. Well, that's this. Look at that. If I leave the window, kind of got a little bit of a wobble. But if I disable it, now it's gone, right? So you can enable that. And you can set play with the settings. I mean, you can make it wobble more, wobble less, add the mass dampening stiffness. I mean, there's some crazy options there. Start menu, standard menu, and you can go full screen menu. Now you got a full screen menu, right? So lots of menu options. Desktop clock, easy. Disable clock. Now the clock's gone. Enable the clock. The clock is there. You can also set the digital, modern, digital, analog, size, opacity, wear, position, color, and drop shadow. You can add a drop shadow there. Very nice. Notifications, helper agent. The helper agent is this over here, and we're going to get to the helper agent in a second because this is going to blow your mind. So you've got a helper agent on your desktop, which is an AI agent, and you got some options for that: language and region, and then your desktop background, which you can then also change to another color if you want to. Right, so that's the settings menu. As you can see, it's quite extensive, and we keep adding to it. It's growing, but we've got quite a lot of really nice settings for, like, to customize the hell out of your desktop. It's already really really nice, even in early stages. You can read up the release notes over here on the desktop. There's a release notes, so yeah, every time we add something new, we add it in here. And we started logging from version 2.0, but as it gets too long, we start combining them. Like, we used to have 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and then we'd have pages until we got to 3.10, but yeah, it gets too long to read, so we'll just combine version 2.1, and then we'll just put some highlights, what the big stuff that changed. So there's a lot, obviously, of the finer ones that are not here, but I mean, we can't have pages and pages and pages and pages of stuff for people to read. Like here now, 4.96, 4.95, 4.9. Like, eventually, when we get to a much higher number, we'll start combining 4.8 and 4.9 into like one paragraph. Anyway, you can read up about what's been done here. There's a lot. It's very interesting because you get to see what actually is being done. Really nice. And we've added a tutorial guide, although I need to update this, but it sort of guides you around the desktop, like what does what does what does what. Okay, and of course we've got the about there. If you go to the menu here, okay, let's switch to the standard menu. We can just right click and choose standard menu. And let me make it, I like my menu bigger. Okay, so if we go to the menu here, you'll see there's a couple of, well, there's many categories, but the important ones, I guess, would be the Electra AI and the external AI. Now, Electra AI, that's all the stuff that we coded. That's our tools. I coded this myself, right? So these are our tools. So you want to generate with Electra, well, mostly Electra, but there are some other AIs involved here as well. But our tools, then this is the tab. External API, this is everything else. This is like ChatGTP and Claude and DeepSeek and Gemini and Grok and Canva and Hugging Face and Leonardo and Midjourney and Suno, Udio, VO3 Flow, Vivago, WaveSpeed, Kling AI, Ideogram, all that stuff. That's in external AI. And I'm actually going to move these over eventually. Right now it's in external, just because I want to just sort of, while I'm building the collection, I put it into one section. But I'm eventually going to add them into other categories here. We're going to have like all the bots into social, and we're going to have all the graphic image generators in graphic, and we're going to have all the video generators in sound and video, and so forth, so forth. So they will make their way into other categories at some stage. Now they're just all here. If we go down here, we look at some of the other categories. We've got accessories, and here you've got a text editor, AI text editor. Very powerful. It looks simple, but it's very powerful because it's got translation features, insert features, and you can just ask the AI to generate anything, and it generates the content straight in here. You can save it as well and translate to 140 languages, I think. So you've got a calculator, AI calculator. It's also AI calculator. 5 times 9 equals 45, and now the AI generates something about 45. See, it's AI. Everything on this OS is AI. This is a heavily AI integrated OS. Calculator, calendar, contacts. You can add contacts, and the contacts and the calendars sync up, by the way. Yeah, you got maps on here, actual maps, like it's literally found me. So you got like maps that you can use, real time maps, which is nice. And then, yeah, system monitor, unit converter, system monitor shows the load, and it also shows anything that's open. Like you can also end tasks. Under games, we've got a bunch of games, a lot of games, especially like AI games, tic tac toe, checkers, and so forth. This is all AI games. So you make a move, the AI is thinking the AI makes a move, you make a move, the AI makes a move, and so forth, so forth, so forth, right? And yeah, so you've got a couple of games to play. We've also got the GeForce Cloud Gaming, GeForce Now Cloud Gaming, so you can play like your Steam games and things like that. Epic Games, Steam games, and Ubisoft games, and so forth, so forth. There's some other really cool games we're also putting here. Dungeons and Dragons, pretty awesome. AI World Weaver's pretty awesome. Graphics, you got a image generator, image viewer, and a sketchpad. The sketchpad is like the GNOME Paint, I guess. Microsoft Paint, similar type of thing. So you can paint. There we go. Brush. You got a brush, a pen. You can set the size, opacity. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Very basic, but cool. Internet, you've got links to various social sites and so forth. You got an email client as well, by the way, like an email client. So you can add your IMAP or POP3 as well. Okay, Office, you got some really cool tools here. There's a lot of Office, Google Docs is in there, Microsoft Online, Word is there. And we've started working on our own Office suite. It's still very early stages. It's like work in progress. We just started building it, but we're making virtually our own Office suite, which is going to be compatible with like a lot of formats, including Microsoft, as you can see, Microsoft formats. So we started working on that. It's early stages. Don't read too much into it. It's called WebOS Presenter, Sheets, and Writer. Okay, social, you got some Electro chat, public room chat, sound and video. You got some stuff here, including live webcam, and you got a really cool video generator prompt here. This is very cool. Guys can use this for VO3 Flow. Basically, create a video script for you, even with timestamps. Very cool. Okay, so and then we go down to system here. You get the system stuff. Okay, release notes, system coder. I might get to system coder in a little bit, but yeah, plugin center, the rest of the stuff here. Terminal. We also got a terminal, by the way. You can even right click on the desktop and go open terminal. And then you can, the terminal doesn't actually do any commands, it just talks to Electra AI. So you can just chat to her via terminal, but it does have a nice colorful interface. Okay, so that's basically the desktop, right, that I showed you now. There's lots more to it, but you can fiddle yourself. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's finally get to the AI side of things. Now, what makes WebOS very unique is that it's very AI driven. On your desktop here, it's part of your desktop. See there? You've got a thing called Agent Helper or Helper Agent. We call it Helper Agent, right? Agent Helper. And here you can ask it anything. So you can say, for example, generate an image of a cow, and it will now generate. Look there, it's generating an image of a cow. But I wasn't specific, so just generated a square image. It's a reasoning model, so you see what it thinks. We could say generate. Actually, you can use audio as well. See, here's a little microphone here, so you can use audio. So, oh, it heard me speaking, and it actually decided that I wanted to chat, so it opened up Electra. It's pretty cool. But listen to this. Generate an image of a cow eating and make it landscape. So I said, generate an image of a cow eating and make it landscape, and watch this. So we can use audio as well there. Generate the image of a cow eating, make it landscape. That's pretty much what I asked for, and there we go. Right? I can generate other stuff too. Generate a short story about a cat who loves to watch TV. So now I said generate a short story. So now it's actually going to generate the text, and it's going to open up in a text editor. Watch. Now it does take a while to generate short stories, maybe like 20, 30 seconds. There we go. Done. And it says task completed. Da, 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 da. So now if we check this out, this is now the AI text editor. the one that I told you is quite powerful. Once upon a time, blah, 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 blah. Now, we can take this and we can translate it. Let's translate it into Dutch, German, French, Filipino. Let's go German. I don't often drink. There we go, German. So I'm going to translate this into German. I just click translate. Boom. AI is processing, and watch. It's all going to be German now. There we go. It's just literally translated the whole document into German. That's how awesome it is. Really, really cool. And if we just choose correct, it will actually look for mistakes and autocorrect. It's a very powerful little text editor that's very, very, very powerful. So you can speak to this AI and ask it anything. Like even OS, I can say turn off off the desktop clock. Now I could say it or I could type it. Doesn't matter. I prefer typing, but you could say it if you're lazy. There we go. I just said turn off the desktop clock, and I say um, auto hide the panel. I say auto hide the panel. There we go. Panel's hidden. Look at that. And of course, if I mouse down, the panel will come up. And we say set panel to always show. Let's put it back. And there we go. Panel's back. Change the desktop background. Change the background. And now to change the desktop background. There we go. Now it's made it green. And if you actually look here, you go to desktop background, you'll see there's green. There's like, it will, because I didn't specify, it will go random. But there's a bunch here, and we're going to keep expanding that. Default is purple though. So the AI, the desktop AI, the little helper here will really just, you can, if you're very lazy, you can tell it to do things. You can tell it to do this, change that, whatever, and it will do it. You can ask it to generate content, image and text at the moment, but we're going to keep adding more abilities. So you don't even have to open anything. You can do a lot just from this AI agent helper. That's its task. It is integrated at the core level of the OS, right? So it is connected. It can do stuff. It can change transparency and things, whatever. Like for example, I can say open release notes. If I'm too lazy to click, I can just say open release notes, and there we go. See, it opens apps and things as well that you ask it to open. So it's a very, very powerful little agent, and we're expanding on it. It's not all usable. It does have a lot of functionality, but we are expanding on it. Currently, right now, it's actually pretty complex. It does a lot of really cool stuff. Right. Okay, so that's that. Other than that, you've got actual dedicated tools that you can do a lot of stuff with. But the next thing I want to show here is the system coder. Where's system coder? There's a system coder. Now, if you want to know what the system coder is, you can actually read the guide. There's a system coder guide. And this guide actually tells you what is a system coder, what its abilities are, what it can do, what it can't do. And then it gives you some examples of things that you can ask it, and then it gives a breakdown of like its abilities of coding, what a typical document, like a typical, development documents. Okay, so the system coder is an AI. This is actually Electra. This is AI that actually codes apps and games and things that plugs into the OS. So let's say, for example, that although we have Electra AI, let's say I wanted to code a chatbot AI. Then I could say here, code a AI chat interface, make it use bubble chat. Um, the user can talk to an AI chatbot. That's it. I'm not going to really be specific now. You can be a lot more specific, but I just want the basic interface. Let's call it free chat. So we're going to call it free chat. Make a shortcut. Oh, I'm just going to say put it in the social category in the menu. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to ask it. I'm going to call it free chat, and I'm going to ask it to code that. Boom. Now we wait. So the AI is now coding this app for us, right? Very easy. It's a bubble chat, a user interface. Chat talks to AI. Boom, done. And then it pops up, says it's been done, coded, and it's been placed in there. If we go there to social now, we see there's free chat. I just coded an app, and all I did was, let's open up here. Let's go to text editor. That was my prompt. That's it. Nothing else. No specifics, just code an AI chat interface, make it use bubble chat. The user can talk to an AI. Let's call it free chat, put it in the social category. I was very vague, very vague. That's my prompt. So I'm going to keep that up there. I want you guys to sort of, the GUI straight. Okay, so I want you guys to see that and keep that, okay? So I'm going to put that right there. Now we're going to go here to social. We're going to open free chat. And there we go. There it is. Look at it. Now I didn't specify size or anything. If I had, it would have. It opens nice and center, by the way. Um, it would have made the size to, and if I'd been more specific about coloring or background or whatever, it would have added that. I was very vague. I just said a chat interface and I said bubble chat, so it did that. Now let's see if it works. And there we go. Look at that. So it literally just created, and I can resize this, by the way. So I can resize, drag that. And it's got the nice wobbly effects. Oh yeah, you can double click as well if you double click at the tiles. So anyway, but look at that nice cool effect, by the way. And did you notice that the windows have that nice glow effect? Kind of gives it the depth perception. Okay, so very easy. I just used that one single prompt over there, and I coded this in like a minute, not even 30 seconds maybe. It coded this really cool AI chat window. And now I can talk to the AI, have a full blown conversation with the AI in this nice looking interface from that one single prompt. So, my point is, with System Coder, it's a self coding operating system. You can code your own apps, your own games. And by the way, when you code something, it puts it in a plugin center. So, you go to the plugin center, there's free chat. It's coded, it's in the social, there it is, and it's in the plugin center. Now, you have my plugins and community plugins. Community plugins is plugins that have been published by the community, meaning you make a plugin, you test it, it works really cool. You're like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah, I want to share this with other people, right? Then you can go to plugin center and you can publish your plugin. If you publish that, like I'm going to publish it now, free chat, publish this, yes, confirm. And it says publish successfully. And if we look here now, there's free chat. And it puts your username, by the way, so people see who made it. Description, da 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 da. I've already made a couple of stuff here, so I've been playing around with coding. Like here, I made a hungry snake game. You can go to community plugins and you can just click install. Yes, confirm, install, and it installs it. Now, once you install it, it moves it to my plugins. So there's Hungry Snake, and if you go to games, you'll see there's Hungry Snake. There's Hungry Snake. And Hungry Snake is just like this little, like that old snake game. When you eat little squares, you grow in there. See, like when you eat something, you eat a little square, you become longer and longer. It's like a little snake. Simple game. Okay, I was very vague again, but it is very cool to play. Look at that. It just keeps growing until the whole screen is basically a snake. Kills time, I guess. So yeah, I coded this also. I just said make a snake game like the old Nokia phones used to have, and make it eat the squares and blah blah blah, and it grows and gives it 1 point. I was very vague. I didn't really specify much, and it made this really cool little snake game. And of course, if it's game over, if I crash, game over, so you'll score it, blah, blah, blah. So it's a little Hungry Snake game. Simple, but nice. Also made a little daily quote generator. Let's install that quickly. That's the last one I'll show, even though there's more. Because the daily quote was, let's go here to, where did I put the daily quote now? Was that under social? There, daily quote generator. If you click that, all it does is you generate a quote, and it will give you a motivational quote. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. Oh, that's pretty cool. And you generate again, and it gives you there. This is our debus system, by the way. You see this cool debus system, system-wide notifications, just like you would in Windows and Linux. Okay, so that's a daily quote. Okay, something else I want to show is we made this cool little thing, sticky notes. Now we've got two versions of the sticky notes. The first one is adding a sticky note. You can right click and choose sticky note, and you can put a title there, and you can say, oh, it's picking up what I last used, hello, and then say, please make sure to finish the task by 5 p.m. Dave. Okay, so let's say you're out at lunch or whatever. Somebody can come and put a sticky note on your desktop, or you can put a reminder. You can move these around. Let's turn on the desktop clock. Let's put the clock back. I like the clock back there. There we go. Okay, so you can put the sticky note anywhere. You can drag it around. If you double click it, it opens. You can read it. And of course, if you exit, if you close it there, it removes it. So let's say you want a reminder. You can put a bunch of them, or somebody comes to you. You're out at lunch. Somebody can leave a little sticky note on your desktop that you'll see. Very, very cool. And then when you're done, you can just close it. Now it's gone. You can also put a random sticky note. If you write a random sticky note, the AI will actually generate a sticky note and put it there. There, see, puts a little motivational quote on your desktop. So there, you double click it, you can read it. Boom. So yeah, and you can do that. Random sticky note. It'll just put it on a random position anywhere. It just generates. See there? Another motivational quote, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. The cute little stuff, if you need some motivation. So yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, this is a really cool OS, right? I mean, it's fully functional. You can use it as a regular OS. It has cloud storage, and we're still expanding on features. It's got virtual desktops as well, by the way. This is so cool. Like, let's open something here. So there I've got the File Explorer open. I got a virtual. Let's choose another desktop, and over here I've got settings, and now I'll jump between the two. Like, there's a File Explorer. There's the settings. So yeah, so we've got multiple virtual desktops as well. Still early stages. I want to start coding some shortcuts and so forth, but it is functional. Sponsorship. Okay, so sponsorship. A couple of things to know about sponsorship. Number one, we have put here the details of the backend models, although very vague. We weren't very specific or very detailed. We did say here that WebOS currently uses Electra AI to handle most of the backend reasoning and executions because it's a reasoning model and we need reasoning. That's the reason that we basically use Electra here. We use pollinations to execute text generation and image generation for some of it. This agent, this is the front of here, this helper agent on the front. The text, like short stories and things, or poems, or whatever you ask it to generate the text, and also the images are handled via pollinations over there. Okay, the Electra AI backend tools, that means everything here, Electra over here. All of that is handled by Electra, pollinations, Hugging Face, so it's a combination. And then virtually everything else is Electra as well. So there's a lot of backend AI, like the thing over there is AI, the calendars AI, the calculators AI. There's a lot of other backend AI. The whole OS is virtually one big AI. A lot of the games are AI. Actually, almost all of them are AI. That's all Electra. That's all Electra. Okay, so that being said, I'm not going to spend too much time further on this because I'm going to make more video. I don't want to spend 2 hours here. We've already gone over 30 minutes, I think, although it's been constructive. Okay, I just want to point out that we are a non-profit um, organization. We don't make money. We're not here to sell stuff, right? We just want to make things better and nicer and so forth. That being said, nothing is free. AI isn't free. We're having to use Hugging Face and pollinations and third-party AI because we don't have the infrastructure to run everything. Electra is running on a server box. She can handle some tasks, but she can't hand. We don't have the infrastructure to have millions of people on her, or even thousands, or even hundreds of people on her. We just don't have the infrastructure. That kind of happens when you don't have money. You understand? So we are looking for sponsors now. How can you sponsor? Well, you can sponsor AI if you have access to AI, whether it's text generation, image generation, especially video generation. That would be nice as well. But any of those, and you want to sponsor the project or become part of the project, great. welcome that. If you have server boxes, infrastructure, space, storage, because I have some ideas to expand this. I want to build like a little mini Facebook kind of news feed into here, a little thing where people can connect to each other, a little community. It's like, and I also want to create a community chat. I mean, there's loads of ideas, but we need storage for that. Serious storage, serious bandwidth. And so if you have any of that, we welcome that as well. If you have any kind of I don't know, marketing skills, you have access to marketing tools or whatever, you know, we welcome that. If you want to be a tester, we welcome that as well. If you want to get involved in any way, we welcome it. If you want to sponsor money, we welcome that as well. We won't pay ourselves, we will use it to expand the project, right? But yeah, we do welcome that because a lot of this is not cheap. I mean, we're kind of using a lot of free services right now, but paid services are always better. So if we had access to paid services, whether you can provide us the paid services with us not paying, or whether we get cash flow to purchase the paid service, either way we welcome it. Now, to become a sponsor, it's very simple. You can just contact us there via the email, or you can pop into our Discord, have a chat with us, and we can talk. I mean, there are ways that we could make it worth your while. We could list you here in the menu, put an advert over here. We could. There's other ways as well. Um, but yeah, talk to us if you want to get involved, because I think this is going to blow up pretty big. The whole world is moving to digital and cloud. Like, people are online. New generation live online. They live on AI. They live. Everything's online. So it made sense to make a web OS online. Now, why a web OS? This is the last thing I want to say before we log off here. Why WebOS? Why make it a web operating system in a browser? I'm sure a lot of people must be asking why. What's the point? Well, couple of things. Number one, it's cross-platform, meaning you're logged in. I'm logged in as a user here. There's my account, right? Now, I'm still busy with account services and so forth. The registration's working, logging in is working, but I am working on basically account caching, right? Meaning you log in, you set your desktop, you set everything the way you like it. You have a conversation with the AI, the conversation ID stored, blah 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 blah. You log out. You log into you log into WebOS on another PC somewhere else, maybe other side of the world, doesn't matter. You log in over there, and it pulls down all your settings. Boom, whether you're on Windows or Mac or Linux or Unix or Android or iOS, doesn't matter. You'll get the same desktop, the same stuff, all AI. Everything's done with AI. And so it just makes it cross platform. By the way, we also have WebOS integrated in our Linux distro, Maclu Linux Lindows. We're busy integrating it there. And there it's actually linked to the Linux. So you can send stuff from Linux to WebOS and up and down. So we are doing that. So there is going to be a local version of WebOS running on our Linux. But this is the online version, right? And now something else I want to show you guys. Let's just make this browser smaller, because I think here, web tools, is it web dev tools? Let's go here. Web dev, where's the web dev? Web browser, no, developer tools. If you're on a mobile phone, can we resize this? There it becomes a desktop, there it becomes a mobile, there it becomes a desktop. So if you open WebOS on your mobile phone, you're going to see that. If you open up on a tablet or a laptop, you're going to see this. And in a nutshell, what this means is, if you're on a portrait view, you can use this like a almost like a look at it looks like Android, like an Android launcher. So you can use WebOS on your phone. It just changes it to a more mobile, practical layout. Look at that. For example, here we can open up. I don't know. There's a terminal. We can run the terminal. Hello. Like if this was my phone, I could chat to Electra now on my phone via this terminal, and then just close it when I'm done. I could read the release notes. Look at that. So it makes like a little mini window, right? This is like mobile view. So that on your phone or a smaller screen with a portrait view, you're going to see this. And then when you go to a larger view, you're going to see that. So WebOS is compatible with both mobile phones and your desktop PC, which really means it makes it completely cross-platform. So there you can use it as a mobile operating system on top of your operating system. And it's just a shortcut. It's just a web address away. And there we go. There's a full-blown operating system. So she's compatible with both layouts. I just wanted to point that out. So there, that's my video. This is the intro. There's a lot more to show, but I'll get to those in other videos. For now, just know that we are building this operating system, and it's not just like a little plain website. This is a full-blown operating system with a dbus system and a core backend core system. We're busy building plugins, a plugin based coding system, and she codes herself, by the way. System coder. You can create your own stuff, your own apps, your own games, plug them directly into the OS using AI. And you can talk to the AI, ask the AI anything, open stuff, close stuff, generate stuff. You can even use voice, and you can go to settings here. Like there's that agent on the desktop. I can set it there. Now I can see it clearly. You know, you can set down the opacity, like you can literally fade it as part of the desktop. You can set it wider, shorter. You can put a top right, top, the bottom right, center. So there's some nice customizations to just moving things to where you want. That's also really cool. Like I said, we're working on languages. Don't read too much into those, but we are working on those. So yeah, so basically at the end of the day, we are building a web-based operating system. It's going to function like an operating system. You're going to run your office applications in there. You're going to run your chats in there. You're going to do your content generation in there, image, video, text, audio, whatever. And it's all going to be centralized in one place, and it's just inside your browser, and it uses virtually no RAM, virtually no CPU, extremely low on RAM usage, on resource usage. This whole web OS is less than 2 megabytes in size, by the way. The actual code, the backend code, which obviously you can't see, but it's under 2 megabytes. So it's an operating system that's less than 2 megabytes big. Very efficient, very nice. So check it out. Go to webos.live. Just make sure that when you first log in, that you install the extension. You can, if you forget to or you want to do it later, you can also from the desktop here. If you go there, if you're running an Edge-based browser, if you're running a Firefox-based browser or a Chrome-based browser, you can just click on these links and then just add the extension. You will need that. That's why I mentioned it. You will need that. Other than that, have fun with it, guys. You will need to register, obviously, to use a lot of the stuff. Some of it's free. It's all free. Some of it doesn't require registration, uh, but a lot of it will, because it's just good practice. Otherwise, we don't know bots and things. We don't want bots. We want real people to use it. So register. It's free to register, and then log in, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Go crazy. If you want to report bugs, go to system over there. There's a bug report over there. You can open that. There's already a couple of tickets there. So I've been logging things that I found that I need to fix. You can just go new ticket, boom, type what it is, list it, type the description, and then submit. And then boom. And you can click on a ticket, boom. And it loads a ticket and blah blah blah. And you can write a comment as well. So if you want to like add a comment, you're also having the same bug as somebody else, you can. And you can see open tickets, you can see closed tickets as well. So it's a nice little in-house ticket system that I also coded. Man, I've coded a lot here. And like I said, the OS is growing quickly now. We've got our own little software center called Plugin Center. Yeah, just mess around, find your way around. There's a lot here to see and play with. I welcome feedback as well, and enjoy. Have fun, guys, and I will see you in the next video. WebOS.live. Currently, this is the online version. The Linux version is already available to some pro guys, but there's a new ISO coming out this week that I'll be pushing to our Patreon members and also to the pro users, and that will have this version of WebOS with the agent and everything else included. Very, very cool. And that will be like a local version on Linux, so the guys can run it from their desktop literally, and drag and drop and just but if you don't run our Makulu Linux, you can always come to webos.live and try it for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Working late in the light of our Makulu screen, customizing themes that are oh so clean. A system stable with a heart of open source. Makulu's whispers guide me, no need to force. LibreOffice scribing through, no end, no cap. With every app I need, it's a creative sap. Yes, app. In the glow, in the flow, Makulu's insight show. AI core, open door, guiding as I go. The comfort of the code so bright in the screen's soft light. Makulu harmony in tech's endless flight. Smooth like the river, Makulu runs deep. Updates that deliver, promises to keep. Boot it up, feel the pulse, Makulu's beat so serene. With every line of code, it's like living the dream. AI's mind like the stars guides us through the night. Makulu's here, and everything just feels so right. In the grip of Makulu we find our pace, sailing through cyberspace with elegance and grace.